Welcome to Top Life Lists. Thank you for joining us once again for another fantastic video. Before we begin, can I just ask you to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell icon so you will be notified next time we upload another great video. 5. Conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Conspiracy theories are all over the internet. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of them on any subject that we care to mention. But there's something just a little bit chilling about ones that turn out to be true. Let us know in the comments which one of these chills you to the bone. MKULTRA. MKULTRA is one of the best known of the conspiracies. The general premise, which has actually now been proven to be true, was that the US government was testing psychedelics and hallucinogenic drugs on unsuspecting American citizens and military personnel in order to investigate the viability of behaviour modification programs. Essentially, what the US government was doing was testing mind control techniques on its own populace and left many of its participants with trauma and even brain damage. There are plenty of cases of MKUltra subjects acting violently or dangerously, and the fact that the US government was so willing to endanger the lives of its own citizens without their consent is perhaps the most chilling part of the whole conspiracy. Project Sunshine. Despite having a happy, lovely name like Project Sunshine, this was definitely by far one of the darkest ever conspiracies that was ever conceived, and one of the most horrifying to actually be proven real. The project was commissioned by the US Atomic Energy Committee and the US Air Force. Project Sunshine was designed to investigate the effects of nuclear radiation on humans and the environment. It saw the US government harvest and use, often without the permission of parents, the body parts of dead children and babies. Younger children typically have a higher amount of strontium in their bones, meaning that their tissues are more susceptible to radiation damage. Thus, they made better test subjects for this incredibly disturbing project. US government's alcohol poisoning. This conspiracy doesn't have a particular name, but it's one that's been the subject of a lot of discussion over many years, particularly recently. During the American Prohibition, the government tainted industrial alcohol with methanol, a commonly used antifreeze. This was in an attempt to curb the drinking. Reports differ on how much methanol was added, though most agree it wasn't enough to be lethal, but it was intended as more of a deterrent than a punishment. But on the other hand, it's also been reported that there were around 10,000 deaths during this period as a result of poisoning, so perhaps the intention was a lot darker than we actually think it was. Gulf of Tonkin incident. On August the 2nd, 1964, in the middle of the Vietnam War, a warship called USS Maddox was on an intelligence mission along North Vietnam's coast, allegedly fired upon and damaged several North Vietnamese torpedo boats that had been stalking it in the Gulf of Tonkin. The Maddox was also reportedly attacked by North Vietnamese vessels on August the 4th. In 2005, an undated NSA publication was declassified, revealing there was no attack on the Maddox. Since the disclosure, many have accused the US government of intentionally faking the incident to increase support for the US war in Vietnam, and also to justify further military action in the region. In fact, on August the 10th, the US Congress passed the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. It was a bill that authorised President Johnson to do whatever was necessary to assist any member or protocol state of the Southeast Asia Collective Defence Treaty. This technique was also seen in the early 2000s when the government administrations of President Bush of the US and Prime Minister Tony Blair of the UK made out that the Iraqi government was actively constructing and stockpiling weapons of mass destruction, which prompted the Iraq War. It was later found that Iraq had not been stockpiling or even producing WMDs to begin with. Weather manipulation. Back in 1993, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the US military and the University of Alaska created the High Frequency Active Oral Research Program, which most people commonly know as HAARP. Since then, many conspiracy theories have sprung up surrounding the mysterious project. Everything from satellites that can be used to cause earthquakes, to huge transmitters that can create tornadoes and tsunamis. However, what most people don't know is that there was actually a documented weather manipulation project during the Vietnam War, Operation Popeye. It was a 5-year project in which the US government used the age-old technique of cloud seeding to increase precipitation during the rainy seasons in the North Vietnam Ho Chi Minh Trail, in order to disrupt the moving of vehicles, weapons and rations along the trail. The general idea of cloud seeding is to send an airborne object, typically an airplane, flying through a cloud whilst it releases small particulate that give water vapour something to cling to so it can condense and become rain. What's scary about this conspiracy is if the military has done it in the past, and given the length of the operation, it must have at least been reasonably successful. What's to stop them doing it again? And are they continuing with these experiments? Thank you for watching another video from Top Life Lists. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is up.